Representing Van City through the combo. Real talk, real shit, keeping it a hundo. Wrestle with the facts, that's that. Covering the local artists. Like who be stepping up, putting in work, going the hardest. Hot takes and debates, hot cakes in your plate. Serve it fresh like your breakfast, cause man's got the methods and history of boxing and mysteries unlocking. British Columbia with no filtering the talking. And in this rainforest we got ample plants. Flourishing with life, it ain't happenstance. Tune in for the benefits like cash advances. You are now listening to Samp&Chance.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Samp&Chance Outside of the Ring. I'm Bobby Sampson, joined as always my man with the master plan, Mr. Chance Michaels. Chance, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good. Yourself?
Can't complain, man. We're outside of the ring, and people are probably wondering who is sitting with us this evening. Well, I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about him, and then we're going to break it wide open. From the west coast of Canada, where culture meets conscience and music meets meaning. Today, we are tapping in with an artist who just doesn't rap. He builds messages, movements, and mindsets. Born in India, raised in British Columbia, shaped by real-life experience, this voice rooted in identity, growth, and purpose. From infinity to duality, karma, and the way of the artist, his journey is just more music. It's an evolution. A teacher, a mentor, a storyteller for the next generation, bringing that mind-focused energy to the mic every time. This is for the thinkers, the dreamers, and anyone searching for something deep in hip-hop. Ladies and gentlemen, Samp&Chance Outside of the Ring present Saint Soldier. Saint Soldier, welcome to the show, brother.
Yeah, man, that's like one of the best intros I've ever gotten.
Well, brother, you got to get to know us a bit more, man. Thank you so much for this opportunity. This is a continuation of our Lower Mainland, Fraser Valley, Vancouver-based series of Outside of the Ring. And man, first question I got to ask you right off the bat: who is Saint Soldier?
Damn, I knew you were gonna ask that. Still didn't prepare for it. Man, Saint Soldier, like the identity of Saint Soldier kind of came up when I was pretty young. The meaning of it is like it comes from Sikhism, and it comes from a concept of like someone who goes inward, like saintly, and then after going inward, kind of brings that out into the world as a soldier of that, the battle that needs to take place to fight evil or fight the good fight, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of a balance between an inward and outward being. Because, in India, a lot of like practices, meditative practices, renounce the world and kind of just like say, fuck it, like the world is what it is. And, you don't have to participate in it to like try to bring a change or anything. But the Saint Soldier concept is marrying these two ideas so that's where it comes from. But myself, like, I've been writing poetry since I was a kid. When I was in grade 5, I wrote a poem, and my teacher actually liked it so much that she submitted it for a national poetry contest.
Wow.
Oh, cool.
And it got chosen and published in the kids' poetry book.
Nice.
And then she was so proud of me, and I remember this because like she's one of the heroes in my life, that kind of really influenced me. And yeah, I remember she like got down on a knee, put her hand on my shoulder and said, Amrit, you need to keep writing poetry for the rest of your life. You're talented and inclined to do this. And that like burned permanently into my mind. And then throughout high school, when you go through all the bullshit, I was still writing poetry. I wasn't sharing it with anybody.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I just never stopped writing. So it's kind of this is kind of who I've become through that process. And I grew up listening to hip hop and all that, so it just naturally felt right to rap.
Fair enough.
Who were some of the artists that made you want to become a hip hop artist yourself, that influenced you the most?
I mean, I grew up in the 90s, so like mainly Tupac. Like I listened to a lot of like the Fugees and like Tupac and Bone Thugs and Biggie, but like Tupac with his message and his voice and the power he had behind it, really influenced me to use it to be able to make a change and to really be expressive of what's going on inside, not just for like entertainment value, but for the sake of of something greater, you know?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I started to explore your library, and as you can see behind me, music is a big part of my life as well. Um, and I really noticed, like, this day and age of hip hop artists and what's out there. Man, you made me get back into hip hop again in a way, in a really weird way, because I mean, look what I'm wearing, right? I mean, those are my influences for a lot of things, right? But your cadence, your style, your delivery, your lyrics, which is the most important, and your beats, and I could start to see where you're sampling and where your influences and stuff like that were kind of coming from. I'm going to ask you, he's a bit more modern, but I noticed in a couple of your tracks you have a real Hanuman kind of feel to it. Is that fair to say? Not
Uh,
necessarily lyrically, but more of the music, like the beats.
uh, like, are you asking like if he's an influence?
If he's not an influence, but yeah, it's a certain extent, yeah, like maybe a more modern influence.
You know, to be honest, I've probably heard like two of his songs,
Okay,
but at the same time, I've also gotten that from other people. So it could
I
be
just see the
more.
parallels, man. I just hear it. It's just like just the way your bars drop. Um, I just you guys should collaborate.
That'd be cool. Yeah. Yeah, why not? I haven't reached out to him or anything, so maybe I will.
I'll say
Absolutely.
one thing. When I was getting ready for this interview, I listened to your whole catalog, and I find with each song and each album, I find you're getting better. Your lyrics are a little more sharper. They're a little more just improving your pen game. It seems that you get better as you go along. That song you did with Icarus, Uncanny, and Mercules, you held your own with those guys. Like all three of your guys' verses are absolutely fire. So give you props on that, man.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I really like to like one up myself every time.
Yeah.
Like I have so much fun writing. Like I see it as like this puzzle, you know, and like
Mhm.
things starts clicking and when it clicks, it just feels right. You know what I mean? And it's so satisfying. It's one of the most satisfying uh processes for me in music is writing lyrics and to get those puzzle pieces to fit right. Yeah,
Mhm.
most of like music I write is like while I'm moving or something, you know what I mean? Like I do write in the studio, but most of the times like that song Uncanny,
Mhm.
I wrote that like while I was working out in like a 1 hour gym session.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was just like I had the beat playing. Icarus had asked me to write to it. It was like a day before I was flying out to Mexico for a couple of weeks. He was like, "You got to do this like tonight." And he's like, "I know, you know, he's been in the studio with me enough to know that I can, churn out a verse pretty quickly." And so he was like, "I know you can do this." And I was like, "All right, well, like send me the beat, send me the music, whatever, right?" And he sent it over, and I was like, "Shit, this is tight." Yeah, Scatterbrains on the beat too. It was like it's a banger. So yeah, it came out pretty fluid and but yeah, like every time I'm writing now, I need to like do better. I always need to do better and like and find new flows and challenge myself. So have a
Well,
doing it.
you and Nicholas got good chemistry. Even Cobalt Blues, that song, you guys together, great song too. Something different. The voices you guys use in that, but you guys have great chemistry working together. I've listened to the two songs that I've heard.
Cobalt, Cobalt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
were a great song.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, Icarus is a really good friend of mine. We go back to like 2010, 8,
Hmm.
9 or 10 or something like that. Yeah, yeah, and he's in the studio all the time too here. We work on his music as well here. We record him here. I mix and master some of his stuff. Yeah,
Nice.
and yeah.
No, I guess ultimately, like, how did you end up getting into, like, from poetry? I can understand, but how did it evolve into where you are now? Like, how did this all happen? What was the catalyst? What made this possible where we are today?
That's a good question, man. Yeah, so like when I was writing poetry and not sharing it with people to like getting to be here, uh, at that point it like I'd say like the tail end of high school, I started sharing it with my sister, and she was like, okay, like after about a year of sharing with her, at one point she said, okay, this is like at the point where you need to start sharing this with the world. So the first time I ever shared it, do you guys remember Speaker's Corner?
Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah,
Yeah, I went on Speaker's Corner, put the dollar in or whatever, right?
yeah.
Back then there was like not even social media. So like this is like early 2000s, right?
Yeah, yeah, right at the corner of Queen and Bathurst.
Yeah, yeah. And oh actually no, I think it might it was that one, yeah.
Mhm.
Because there was one on the island too, right?
Right.
It might have been the one on the island actually.
Okay.
So I just went and like shared a rap, like a spoken word rap, right? Like spoken word is my favorite means of delivery.
Hmm.
And I did that and I just dropped my email at the end. And then like a month later, I didn't get to see it on TV or whatever, but like a month later or so I get like a ton of emails and people were vibing with it. So then my buddy Paul, who's still like my day one, he handles my social media now. He shoots all my videos. He's been always doing it. Like he mixed my first mixtape. He was like, "Hey, let's go hit up an open mic," and so we hit up. What was it that the Beat used to host it at the Media Club? He used to host
Okay.
an open mic.
Yeah.
So that was my first ever experience, like performing in front of people.
Beautiful.
Ended up winning the Beat T-shirt that night, so it was like shit. Like they gave me the prize or whatever. Then I started hitting up the Anza Club, met some like met some freestyle artists on the street that like invited me to the Anza Club, met like, all this David Morin and Randy Ponzio
Yeah, yeah.
and all these guys, right? And we were all vibing and like that was good energy. Then kind of I met somebody who was starting like a small record label in Abbey
Hmm.
and he signed me. That didn't really last. I don't really want to get into that too much, but I didn't really want to be there at some.
Everything starts somewhere, brother.
Yeah, and then kind of cut ties there. I moved down to Mexico. I'd started working on my first album, and we released that in like 2011. And I just couldn't stop after that. Like it was just I made friends that were producing for me, and like my pen wouldn't stop, and I
Beautiful.
just kept going.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Now you have a platform which is amazing, and you and I both being South Asian,
Yeah.
in this realm, doing different things, but in this realm. Um, what are your influences on the South Asian community, if you know of any? Like in terms of how they accepted you, and how are you using your platform to help our youth, because our youth needs help in instances, right? So, uh, just based on your bio, that I in the research I've done, I know that you do some mentoring, which I added in in your kind of intro there and things like that. So how did that come about, and how much of your time are you using towards that?
Well, over the years, I've definitely spent some time um, and effort and energy in that. These days, I'm a family man. I'm focused on my own kids
Sure,
a
sure,
lot
sure.
more than anything. But yeah, like I don't know if you heard the song "Astray." That was a track and music video that we did that
Yeah.
was about the gang situation in Abbey,
Hmm.
which was followed by some further work with the youth in Abbey. Um, and I went to Rick Hansen and I taught the art of rap
Oh,
to
cool.
kids there and try and like it was like mostly South Asian kids, right? And
I
uh,
worked at Reimer and Hanson.
formulated a whole like course for them, that kind of thing, and like
Sweet.
at my old school too, Abbey, and yeah, so done some stuff like that and used those opportunities to try to like with the kids that I did work with to try to like just be a positive uh influence in how they might look at life and kind of touch on it's so easy for these kids to slip into that life, and to kind of yeah, and some of them still message me and stuff, and they seem like they're doing all right.
Awesome, man. Yeah, no, you know, to be fair, I worked at Reimer and Hanson. So,
Like,
so yeah, so
I
I that's
graduated. I graduated from there in 2000.
There you go.
Okay,
So,
yeah.
Stan, I got to ask you a couple questions, a little more on the hip hop side here. Who would you say are the top five best rappers from Vancouver? And you got to exclude yourself. I mean, Vancouver Valley. Who would you put up there?
Shit. Top five. All right. So, I mean, first of all, this question assumes uh that I'm deep into hip hop.
Yes.
Ironically, like what I was listening to right now on my drive was Mother Mother.
Okay, let's do it this way. Give us the top five artists in Vancouver,
So
any genre.
I'm just gonna say one of my favorite rappers is my bro Icarus. That's why I'm like
Yeah.
that, because like I'm a fan of his, and he writes like his shit is like, because I also know him and I know his life, the life that he lives. I think it's some of the most raw, real, like true lyrics, and also like delivery and everything. He's just fucking dope. So
Yeah.
I put him right up there. Obviously Merc is, killing it.
Yeah.
Uh, his pen game and his flows and deliveries and like, how he chops it up is just like it's top tier.
Oh yeah.
Um, I really like Junk. I think that like yeah, he's a wordsmith and his flows are fire. Um, and yeah, who else am I gonna put in there?
What about one of the more popular groups from? I just want your opinion on them. From Vancouver, Swollen Members.
Oh yeah, I mean they're just classic, right? They kind of put
Yeah.
up. So
Yeah.
Prevail actually played a role in my music journey too. I had this office job in Vancouver, and
Hmm.
our office manager, his name's Craig. Uh, he one day he's friends with Prevail, so like Prev came into the office to see Craig, and then Craig walked him out of his office, and he's like, "Hey, you gotta meet my friend here." And he walked him over to my desk, and he was like, he told him, he's like, I was like, holy shit, this is Prevail, right? Standing right here next to my desk. And I was like,
Cool.
this is like back when I hadn't even, like, maybe I'd done a few open mics kind of thing, right? And and he told him that I was a rapper, and then Prevail, he's like, show me some shit. And I had some like, recorded on my little fucking mic like that.
Nice.
I had some shit that I'd recorded, and I played it for him, and he literally sat down and listened to like 4 songs of mine. And then he was like, "Man, you're onto something here." He's like, "You got to keep doing this. Like, you're natural." And he really, gassed me up for it. So I was like, "Fucking, that was awesome." So, yeah, Prev played a role in my journey too. Yeah, those guys are dope, man. I always bump them, and like,
Hmm.
yeah.
Amazing, amazing. Listen, brother, I know you have a baby, brand new baby. You got to take care of that as well. And it's getting late. So, brother, we would love to get you back once the kids are a little bit older and, can sleep a little bit longer. And I want to get into a lot more content and more things with you here. The both of us do. So, on behalf of Bobby Thompson, Mr. Chance Michaels, and Saint Soldier, this has been Samp and Chance outside of the ring.